Chapter 18 under video part 3. In this part of the video, we will learn how the carbon is cycled within an ecosystem, or what we call the carbon cycle. Carbon is a very important element in the food chain, as it's part of the elements in the food and also in the environment in terms of carbon dioxide. And hence, carbon is constantly removed from and released into the atmosphere in the forms of carbon dioxide. This is why the concentrations of carbon dioxide in the environment is not lost but continually recycled. Carbon cycle is important because it ensures a continuous supply of the carbon dioxide for photosynthesis, and it enables the energy to flow through the ecosystem. Before we look into the details of carbon cycle, let's watch a video that shows the different biological processes that involve in the cycling of the carbon. In the video, you can try to identify some of these processes also.
Hey there, everybody. Today we're going to introduce you to the carbon cycle. To help me with this, here's Cole, the carbon atom.
Gee willikers, thanks for the introduction, Mr. Narrator. Hey, Mr. Narrator, you breathe oxygen, don't you?
Why, yes, Cole, I do.
Well, why don't we start there? Every time you breathe in, you remove oxygen and other elements from the air. Then when you exhale, you release carbon dioxide, which is me and two of my oxygen friends. This process is called respiration. Look, carbon copies.
But Cole, what happens to the carbon next?
Whoa! Slow down, Mr. Narrator. I've only just begun telling you about the carbon cycle. Just like humans breathe, plants breathe too. But instead of breathing in oxygen, plants breathe in carbon dioxide that humans and other animals make. They turn the carbon dioxide into energy during the process called photosynthesis and release oxygen back into the air.
Wow, Cole, it sounds like that's the carbon cycle right there.
Hold your horses, Mr. Narrator. This isn't a race. Plants and animals are all made of carbon. When these organisms expire, fungi use the oxygen in the air to break down the carbon inside them and convert it to carbon dioxide, which is released back into the air in a process called decomposition.
Hey, I thought carbon wasn't everything. But this just sounds like living things.
Gee, Mr. Narrator, you're jumping ahead again. But since you brought it up, rivers, lakes, and oceans also play a big part in the carbon cycle. Bodies of water take in and release carbon from the surface depending upon the temperature. This process is called circulation. Also, low-carbon organisms in the ocean, such as mollusks, pull carbon lower in the water, furthering the circulation process.
Well, Cole, thanks for telling us about the carbon cycle. Join us next time when we...
Wait! I'm not done yet!
There's more?
This is just how the carbon cycle works naturally. However, when humans burn fossil fuels, such as coal, petroleum, and natural gas, more carbon is released into the air in the form of carbon dioxide. Also, deforestation means that less carbon dioxide is being taken in from the air by the trees.
Gee, Cole, it sounds like we're in a lot of trouble.
We are, Mr. Narrator. All that extra carbon dioxide in the air is contributing to global warming, which is melting the polar ice caps. We need to reverse these human effects and save the world.
Well, Cole, thanks for letting us know.
In the video just now, can you identify some of the processes? We will look into two parts in this carbon cycle. First is how the carbon dioxide is removed from the environment through the different processes, for example, photosynthesis, where the green plants absorb the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and use it to produce carbon compounds. In this case, we refer to the glucose. Some are the examples like feedings. When the animal feed on the green plants, the carbon compounds become part of their bodies. Fossil fuel, where the carbon compound may be preserved as the fossil fuels like the natural gas, coal, and oil. It shows the carbon cycle from the process carbon dioxide in the air to the photosynthesis, feeding, and becoming the fossil fuel. Next, we look into how the carbon dioxide is released into the environment as a recycle process. It can be recycled through different processes like respirations, where the carbon compounds such as the glucose are broken down into carbon dioxide. Combustions, the combustions or the burning of the fossil fuel that release carbon dioxide. Or decompositions, when the organism die, the dead matter is broken down into simple substance like carbon dioxide by the decomposer. If released through the process, combustions, and the decompositions. As an overall, the carbon cycle have a few processes shown here. The one that removes the carbon dioxide from the environment is through the process photosynthesis. And carbon also transferred from one organism to another through the process feeding. Carbon dioxide can also be locked up in the environment through the process fossilizations or become the fossil fuel and released into the environment through processes such as respiration, decompositions, and combustion. In the next part, we will learn what is a carbon sink and outline the roles of oceans and the forest as carbon sink. What is a carbon sink? A carbon sink is an area that stores carbon compounds for a period of time. It stores more of the carbon than it releases. Ocean is one of the largest carbon sinks on Earth. Carbon dioxide that dissolves in the ocean water is sometimes absorbed and used by the phytoplanktons and algae in photosynthesis. But a part of this, that the carbon compound found in the oceans is also buried in the form of the fossil fuels such as natural gas and oil. Forest is another important factor of the important storage of the carbon compound, which is in the form of photosynthesis. A large amount of the carbon compound is stored in trees, and the remains form the cause another example of the fossil fuel. We have come to the end of the chapter 18, Ecology. In this part of the chapter, we learn a few main parts. The ecosystem made up of the abiotic environment and the biotic environment. Abiotic environment refers to the different physical factors. From there, the biotic environment, we look into the different types, for example, the producer, consumer, and decomposer, and how they involve each other and interact each other in the form of the food chain and food web. And from the food chain and food web, we look into the energy and the nutrient flow through the difference in the ecosystem through the different pyramids, the pyramids of number and the pyramids of biomass. This also involves in the nutrient cycling in the ecosystem, such as the carbon cycle. Thank you.